Welcome everybody to the Give It Podcast, the podcast for blurs, for nerds. If you have a fandom, guys, you are most certainly welcome here. I'm your host, the Most Black Spartan. Of course, Obi is with me. I think he's with me. You with me? And yes, we are kind of on a late night. We apologize, but hey, if you're watching, we appreciate it. And if you're watching us on record, we still appreciate it. But as usual, like I said, hopefully others will be joining us soon. Like I said, kind of late. Apologize. But as we always usually say on here, guys, we are a little bit older, so we do try to watch our language because, you know, we don't try to cuss all the time. At the same time, guys, we do try the trailers that we do watch and things that we do show may be too young for view, maybe too graphic or too for younger viewers. If I could find words, that'd be great. Viewer discretion is advised is what I'm saying. Aside from that, welcome. So what we can get into, guys, again, Evo 2024. Hey, Cinco, why is my cousin up so late? Because he had a late nap, I guess. But Evo 2024 has came and gone, and with that, there has been a lot of news. Congratulations to the winners of those tournaments. But being that said, guys, we did get a lot of news from Evo, especially in the video game realm, especially with Tekken 8 and the surprise that they had.
Sobre os monges Tekken, eliminando os restos da Mishima Zaibatsu. 技と体はかつてなく磨かれておる。心が不安定な状態ゆえ、心技体の気泡が取れておらんのだ。
そろそろ頃合いだな。わしこそが三島平八じゃ。
All I can sit there and say is when it comes to Heihachi Mishimas, or just the Mishimas in general, they do not stay dead. But that was the surprise trade. That was the surprise trailer from Evo 2024. Heihachi Mishima is coming back to Tekken 8 because for some odd reason, basically bad guys don't stay dead. But again, it's going to be interesting to not actually news on when that's going to be released, but we are looking forward to that. Aside from that, guys, Street Fighter 6, not to be outdone by Tekken 8, also had news of their own. And this was what me and Joe were talking about last week because of the crossover between King of Fighters and Street Fighter 6. It wasn't surprising that we were going to see a King of Fighters character on Street Fighter 6, and this is the teaser trailer for it.
Pow Pow Cafe's special VIP for the store's opening. But whenever the hungry wolf's around, you know that his fights are going to be a hot topic.
Harry, let me fight you next.
I want to fight you.
Oh, wait, he's going all out here. Is this gonna do it? This fight's over! Your winner is the Hungry Wolf, Terry Bogard!
Okay.
Now, where to today?
I, for one, am looking forward to that. Terry Bogard. Now, unless you're my age, and Obi, well, let's be honest, you're younger than anything I'm showing right now. But if you remember King of Fighters, SVC Chaos, Terry Bogard, again, one of my favorite characters from Fatal Fury, also on King of Fighters, and now going to be on Street Fighter 6 very soon, come this autumn. So probably I'm just spitballing here, maybe a August, September release. But again, looking forward to that. Again, like I said, we also got King of Fighter news as well. But we do also have a Dragon Ball trailer as well, because again, Dragon Ball Daima, which is weird because Dragon Ball Super could use a new arc, but understandably, the creator is no longer with us. May he rest in power. But if you are interested in Dragon Ball Daima or don't know what it is, here's a trailer for it. So that, guys, that was Dragon Ball Daima, which you can see is going to be coming out in October 2024. It's an original story, again, by the late Akira Toriyama. So I'm looking forward to this. I kind of want to see where it goes. I'm still hoping for the next arc in Dragon Ball Super, because Dragon Ball Superheroes have been following on YouTube, has been great, but willing to give Daima a shot just because, again, you know, who can get enough of Goku? Although it's kind of mini Goku, but I can live with it. But before we get into the rest of the trailers, guys, I did want to cover this as well, because I did want to make this known, because if you don't know, especially if you're looking forward to Rise of the Ronin, if you want a free demo on PlayStation right now, if you go to the PlayStation Store, you actually can go ahead and get a free demo of Rise of the Ronin. Now, keep in mind, this is an open world by Team Ninja. I was looking forward to this because, again, it looks great. But if you do have a PS5, you definitely can go into the PlayStation Store. You can actually download the demo and you can play it. There's not a lock on it. There's not a timer on it. You can play as much as you want, because, again, I miss the days when you actually did have demos, because demos let you know whether or not you was going to rock with the game or you was not going to rock with the game. And, you know, games need to get back to that. That's why I always love the fact of, like, for all those that don't remember when you used to go to Pizza Hut or you used to go to Blockbuster, I know renting places. I know, weird. But, or PlayStation Magazine that actually had the demos in it. Obi, I know, it's young. You're way younger than that. But those are the times you guys actually had demos. And again, demos were fun. They were great. They let you know what to expect without you having to invest your money in it. So again, love the fact that Rise of the Ronin is available. Again, if you want to check it out, go to the PlayStation Store, download it. And if you have played it, let me know what you think. I actually downloaded to my PS5 tonight, so hopefully I'll be back with a review next week on that. At the same time, guys, me and Joe talked about this not last week. It's kind of been a while. Because of the writers and actors strike that happened, which feels like years ago now, but really was just less than a couple of months ago. Well, video game actors are now joining that strike over AI. The reason why is because of artificial intelligence. It has gotten to the point now to where you really don't even need actors to do voiceovers in games. You just really need a AI to actually do it for you. The problem with AI is that, well, it can mimic certain actor voices, and at the same time, you're actually using the likeness of somebody else without paying them. This was a big issue with the writers and actors strike that did happen, especially one of the parts being AI. And now the video game actors, which are actually a part of that, Actors Guild, are now going on strike too, mainly because, yes, AI is being used, and the fact that AI is not being regulated. So because AI is not being regulated, that is the reason why they're going on strike. Simply put, because there's not enough protection against this. Because let's be honest, these video game companies, much like the movies, can actually use your likeness. They can use your likeness, they can use your voice, and honestly make a whole movie out of it if they choose to. The same thing can be done for video game actors. So I get it, I understand it, and we will definitely follow that as it goes along. Hopefully it should be solved fairly quickly, but at the same time, we don't know. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. But again, I hope it's resolved because there's some games I'm waiting for to come out, and I hope it doesn't get halted by this. But I understand video game actors got to get paid. Actors, developers, engineers, all those that do that are actually involved in this deserve to get paid, including the voice actors. So again, pay the people. It's not that freaking hard. But getting back to, again, the Evo trailers, because there was quite a lot of them. This one, especially King of Fighters 15, also actually released their DLCs for the next characters, literally named Mature in Vice. Check it out.
KOF 15.
Once the hour is too late, it never gets around us. We will pay. Take my hand, it's now or never. Don't let them escape. Back to back, attack your family. Just one way, it's together now or never.
And don't get me wrong, that is great that we got to see 2 more DLC characters, but this goes to the whole thing of gameplay is nice if you can get it. That's all I'm asking for. But that was the DLC characters that are being revealed for King of Fighters 15. Hopefully we will see something of that nature, but we'll find out. But hey, there he is. Joe, what's going on, man?
It's 11 o'clock.
Yep. Well, technically 11:30, but how you doing?
Waking up again.
Long night, or I should say fun night?
No, I just took a nap.
Signs of an adult. Well, Joe, just to catch up to speed, sir, and I did want to get your opinions on this. We did actually cover a few of the trailers. First, the Tekken 8 Heihachi Mishima trailer. Thoughts on that by any chance?
I'm surprised he's the third character as opposed to the final character, and I guess that means the final character is a guest character.
Mm-hmm.
He's dead, but then the Mishimas take throwing into a volcano every second Sunday.
Pretty much. And also,
I thought it was Goken or Akuma again because of the trailer.
Mm-hmm. Well, let me ask you also this, though, because we did actually cover Street Fighter 6's Terry Bogard. So, I mean, I'll be honest, I think you called that. I think you called Terry being on Street Fighter 6, didn't you?
Yeah, probably. Long ago.
because that's what I was thinking you did. I thought you may have called it, but still a great thing on that. And the next thing I was going to get into, also the voice actor strike. So any opinions on that outside? Because I know we did cover this when the actor strike happened, and the voice actors were a part of it. But now that the whole thing of AI has come up again, and the regulation to it, I mean, it's going to get to a point where either AI is going to be accepted, or it's just going to be outright, banned. Just because I don't think there's a way you can regulate AI and still be able to sustain the voice actors in this.
That one's really tough. I really don't know what the stance on that is, because like AI is kind of necessary to do the job these days, but not like to fully take over a role or a person, unless like the Vader guy, signed over in like perpetuity or gave his permission or stuff like that. Or
James Earl Jones gave permission over his voice. So that's probably the one exception you're going to get, though, because, well, let's be honest, James Earl Jones is a little bit up there in age. So, you know, him allowing the use of his voice in perpetuity makes sense, but I can understand that. But anybody else who are still very active voice actors, you're going to run into that issue of really you're fighting the machine, really, is what it is. But
one moment real quick. Sorry, guys.
No, go ahead. But no, that's it. But that's what I'm saying though on that. But while Joe's going to be coming back, guys, we did want to cover the next trailer. Now, it is Joker. It is the Joker trailer, and I'm going to be honest. I'm going to give my thoughts on this after we play it.
2 years ago, the name Arthur Fleck hit Gotham like a hurricane.
The trial of the century.
They believe Arthur Fleck to be some kind of martyr. Well, he's not. There's a monster.
When you're smiling, when I'm smiling,
when I first saw Joker, when I saw you,
the whole world smiles with you.
for once in my life, I didn't feel so alone anymore.
When you're laughing, the sun comes shining. For once in my life, I have someone who needs me.
How about you, Arthur? Do you still think you're a star?
Showtime. The whole world smiles with you.
You can do anything you want.
The sun comes.
You're Joker.
Look around. Look at all these people. Bring on. I will no longer allow any of you. So stop your sighing to keep me down. Be happy again. I got the sneaking suspicion that we're not giving the people what they want.
It's okay, baby. Let's give the people what they want. Sing hallelujah. Come on, get happy. Ready for the judgment day.
Okay, so with that, guys, that was Joker Folie à Deux, or Joker 2 as they know it, and there we go. So at first, to be quite honest with you guys, at first, when me and Joe first saw that they were going to do a sequel to Joker, initially when my first response to it, I'm not gonna lie, that they decided to focus more on the mental aspect of the movie, the mental aspect of as far as the guy playing Joker, although the Joker persona didn't really show up until much later because it's, turned out to be a cavalcade of things that actually led up to the story to where we are now, to where now he seems to be in a mental institution. We do run into Harley, and her origin story is a little modified, considering the fact that she's initially supposed to be a therapist and eventually does fall for the Joker. But at first, when they said it's going to be a musical, I immediately was like, probably not going to be my thing. Even though I do love musicals, I do love watching musicals, especially the greatest show on earth. Still one of my favorites. And with me thinking that route, I was like, okay, maybe it's worth a shot because I need to kind of shut off the comic book part of my brain. Because initially, when you see these movies, you're immediately thinking, okay, this doesn't equal up to this equal up to this equal this. When this is just this is the director really taking some liberal freedoms with this. But the more I kind of watch this, the more I kind of want to give it a shot. But Joe, what about you when it comes to Joker 2? I refuse to call it Folie à Deux because it's pretty much Joker 2. But would it make you want to watch it, or would it make you feel like you probably just need to pass this along because you may not be the target demographic?
Based off this trailer alone, I still have absolutely zero idea what's going on. And I think it's the fact that we're going to need to see it to talk about it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
That will probably be the sole driving force of me going to see this one. Not because I disliked the last one. I love the last one.
Mm-hmm.
But, I have no idea what's going on this one. That's not even me just being tired. Legitimately, I cannot understand what's going on based on these trailers.
And that's the thing, too. The trailer doesn't really give a lot of context to it, but the more I watch it, just because I think Lady Gaga is an amazing actor. Also, Joaquin Phoenix is also great as well. But just wondering where they're going with this, because now it's almost like, okay, you said musical, but the trailer we just watched didn't scream it. But at the same time, there is a little bit of curiosity on my side. I still want to see what this movie's about. So come October, I still may give it a shot and go from there. But Joe, before we go into the Fatal Fury Call the Wolves trailers, City of the Wolves trailers, I know you got to see the movie that probably 90% of America right now is going to go see, Deadpool Wolverine. So without giving spoilers, sir, what was your impression of the movie?
As I said in my post on Facebook, it is everything we could have ever wanted and more. Cameos were fantastic. The movie was fun. The chemistry between Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman is amazing. Mm-hmm. Honestly, it was a bit more of an experience than it was a film itself, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed myself. I can easily see this getting to $1 billion pretty quickly.
Okay. Now the question probably a lot of people asking, how many scenes at the end?
Oh, just one.
Okay. So for all those who are wondering, especially for the movie theaters, you got one cutscene going. And really, from what everybody else has been saying, including Joe, I have heard nothing but positive reviews from it. Unfortunately, in the world of social media, there are spoilers. So again, guys, we have been saying this. It's something we've been looking forward to, something we thought we would never get. And we actually did get, to actually get Hugh to get Wolverine with Deadpool. So guys, please don't spoil it. At the same time, if you're one of those guys on social media that's literally posting scene by scene or the movie, please take it down. I'm just saying, don't be a dick. But moving right along, guys, as we're, like I said, we got quite the haul from EVO 2024. Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, actually had two releases. Two characters show up, and we're going to start with the first one, Kevin Ryan.
It's a bad day to be you. Are you gonna come quietly?
On the ground!
Watch your feet! Yes, sir. Watch your feet!
It's gonna hurt! It's gonna open you! It's gonna hurt! Bingo!
Watch your feet! Ready for the pain? This is gonna hurt. Here!
Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
I was going to point this out. This guy reminds me of every officer that turns his body cam off. So that was actually Kevin Ryan. As you can see, he will basically be on Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves. And so far, I mean, his skill set is not that. It's actually kind of cool. I'll give him that much. But Joe, any thoughts on this character?
He's a returning character from the original Garo, Mark of the Wolves. He was insanely busted, almost as good as Bug Kushranada in terms of like tier ranking and whatnot. He's very reminiscent of the Ikari Warriors, Ralph and Clark. He's actually very similar to Ralph with all of his napalm style attacks.
Okay. Well, the other one we have, who kind of reminds me of Daredevil, had sight and basically uses staff all the time. This character is Billy Kane, and you'll see why I said that momentarily.
It's not your lucky day. I'm in a rotten mood. It's worse. I'm with you. Mistake. Getting hot around here. Hellfire! You think you're ready? Fine. This will be a good clean burn. Ain't it? Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves.
Again, Daredevil with a stick and in sight. But that was Billy Kane from City of the Wolves. I'm going to be honest. I'm already, of course, this comes out in 2025. Two things I take away from this. One, there is another song I have to figure out what is playing at the end because I like it. And number two, figuring out which two mains I'm going to go with once this comes out next year. Billy Kane might be one of them because I do like his moveset, which it looks like it's going to be more of a long range type of fighter. But Joe, any thoughts on that?
Oh, Billy is a returning fighter, from the original Fatal Furies. He was the sub boss and underling direct henchman to Kane or Geese.
Mm-hmm.
He's now taking over the Geese Foundation, or Howard Foundation, rather. I really dig that his current looks an amalgamation of all the costumes he's ever worn. He's like literally just took a piece of clothing from one part of a previous uniform that he ever had. The thing that is I'm not used to with him is you can actually see his hair. He's always had the bandana over his head.
Yeah.
Playstyle remains unchanged, but when been a sub boss and probably one of the hardest sub bosses in SNK history, you don't need to change your moveset too much. Do you want to see what the rest of his super move is and what his hidden super move is? But that's about it. Seems pretty straightforward, really, to me.
Well, it's funny that you bring up SNK because, again, I feel like you called this too, because this was also news that was released at EVO 2024 that they are bringing back SNK versus Capcom SVC Chaos. And I know Joe's excited. I'm definitely excited, but here's a trailer for it. Huh?
I already bought it. It's $20. Go support this they have no choice but to give us the crossover we really want. Go force them to give us Capcom versus SNK 2 Match of the Millennium.
We could always bully them. That's more personic. But anyway, here's the trailer. Again, like Joe said, it is $20 available right now, guys, on PS4, Nintendo Switch, or Steam. And again, $20. This game, like Joe was pointing out, I do think this is a temperature check because again, if you never played SVC Chaos, you really should. It's a really fun game, especially with the fact the mechanics involved. But yeah, like Joe said, if this is their way of seeing whether or not we're interested, we might get a sequel. At least that's what I'm hoping. But I do love the fact that Netcode is actually being involved, which is actually allowing online play because, again, these are the type of fighting games that deserve to have online matches. But, here's hoping. But, Joe, anything you want to add to that?
Unfortunately, the game is very, very unbalanced from the version they gave us. This is like the latest version of it. So pretty much if you're not playing either Geese or Zero, don't even bother. They are just that overpowered. This continues the tradition of if Zero's in your game, he is usually a top tier character, just like in MVC3 and MVC3 Ultimates and whatever is after MVC3. I think it's MVC3, but
that makes sense.
They're they're incredibly unfair. Just incredibly unfair. Geese and Zero are incredibly unfair. But
Gotcha.
no, it's a fun game. It's also where we get Violent Ken from.
True. But yeah, it's available right now, guys. Like I said, it's $20. You really can't beat that with a stick, unless they come up with a sequel. But we'll see. Speaking of things I did not think I would want to do, but now I might actually play it. Multiverse has decided that they are going to not only bring Jason, but they're going to give us Samurai Jack. And I'm going to be honest, this might be the one that makes me pick up the game and actually want to play it. But here's the trailer.
Hey, what's that?
Where am I?
The young boy, Finn, told me that this is called a crossover.
Yeah, boy!
And now we begin. Another day, another strange battle. Test me if you dare. Santa.
Hey!
It is time. I do enjoy a dance. This is not the end. Watch carefully. This is how a warrior does it.
Let's see if you're as good with that little sword as they say. So long, Jack.
You know, that will probably be the one that makes me want to play this game. Because honestly, Multiverse has been out for quite a while. Then it was shelved. Then it was pulled back out. So now you can play it again. But to play a Samurai Jack, though, in season 2, I'll be honest, it will make me want to play it. But Joe, any thoughts?
Surprised you guys didn't ask Phil Lamar immediately after learning about this.
Say it one more time.
Surprised you guys didn't ask Phil Lamar about this as soon as this got announced.
Oh. Well, yep, he's actually available. It's like he said, it starts season 2, July 23rd. So that was 3 days ago. So you definitely can play with Samurai Jack now in Multiverses. But I may actually download it and actually give him a shot. But speaking of that, guys, we do have some other news before we get on to our comic pulls. So, Transformers 1 has a new trailer, and if you weren't already sold on wanting to watch this movie, this will definitely do it. But Joe, before I play the trailer, any thoughts on this upcoming Transformers 1 trailer they released?
What I hear on the screen is this is the best Transform movie since '86.
That's saying a lot. If you haven't seen it, here's the trailers for the latest trailer for Transformers 1.
For thousands of years, we have been at war. But before, we were enemies. We were like brothers. You ready?
Always ready. Let's punch in.
Hey, watch where you're going! What did you say?
It's not like he can transform.
Hey, Darkwing. Oh, my finger can transform. Guess which one?
Allow me.
I appreciate you having my back. No matter what.
What is that?
Sending location coordinates.
We're under attack! It's an SOS message from the surface.
Fantastic.
It's time to show them we are more than meets the eye.
A cave with teeth. Nothing scary about that. Holy Primus.
I see strength in you. Take these and access your full potential.
We can transform now.
How do we use these things?
Come on.
My hands. How you choose to use this power is up to you.
We roll out.
What?
Louder.
Transform and roll out!
I want to help build a better world. Like you said, we can be so much more.
Maybe it's just me, but he's different.
Yeah, no, I picked up on that.
I picked up on that too.
What happened to my best friend?
Burn it down! All of it!
We have to stop him.
We could have built the future together.
I don't think so.
Decepticons! Rise up! Incoming!
Come on!
Awesome!
That's what I'm talking about.
Now is the time for us to stand up together as one.
Look, that's Starscream, and you're Shockwave and Soundwave.
Enough.
Gosh, raise your hand if Wave is in your name. There's a lot of Wave.
Yeah, I am definitely digging it. So that was the trailer, guys, for Transformers 1. As you can see, we'll be in theaters very soon. No, not too far off from September 20th. There's nothing more I can say to it. If you want, I mean, this is definitely telling an origin story of Optimus and Megatron, and how they came to actually gain their sparks. I got nothing more to add to this, except I'm definitely down to watch it. But Joey, anything you want to add to that?
Definitely the rise of Megatron, which means I'm all in. They did confirm at San Diego Comic-Con that the main villain of the movie, unsurprisingly, is Starscream, now confirmed to be voiced by Steve Buscemi.
Also one of my favorite actors.
There
So
you
that's definitely going to be cool. But Helldivers, for all those who don't know, Helldivers 2, which I need to get on that. I have such a gaming backlog. Of course, we did talk about Helldivers because of the fact that PlayStation wanting to include account verification may or may not kill their player count, but they are moving forward with their next DLC called Escalation of Freedom, and here's the trailer on what's coming with it.
Since launch, we've improved Helldivers quite significantly together with you, the community. We've released a lot of content, such as the flyers, the TCS missions, the destruction of an entire planet. This time around, we've got something special prepared for you.
It's our first step out of many, where we're gonna expand the game in big, meaningful ways.
New game modes, new objectives, new enemies, and even a whole new difficulty.
To give you that, we have to escalate it. An escalation of freedom. When freedom escalates, its opponents escalate.
We're bringing back a fan favorite from Helldivers 1, the stabby, tentacled beast known as the Impaler.
When you're playing against the Terminids, you can always try and run away. The Impaler ruins that plan. They will maybe cut off your escape route, and then you will probably have to stay and fight. Or you can fight the tentacles.
The Spore Charger. This one has fog traveling around it. It's constantly moving, so it's going to come right out of the fog and scare the lights out of you.
The automatons are bringing in artillery,
a big tank that shoots rockets.
If you're further away, you can see it aimed towards the skies and fire rockets in the air, so you'll have a barrage coming down on you.
In addition, you'll face off against heavier, more deadly brood commanders.
With small twists. The allies that it spawns will not be the ones that you're used to.
Difficulty 10 has more enemies than we've had before on lower difficulties. We've really ramped it up. It's meant to feel like a real progression from 9 to 10.
We're also introducing a larger type of outpost, and it's going to be a real challenge to take on these massive fortresses. But if you manage to do so, there will be great rewards waiting for you. Of course, what would the galaxy be without planets? Therefore, we wanted to spook it up with a new version of the swamp environment.
The Acid Storm weather effect now comes with a new mechanic. It reduces the armor of enemies and Helldivers alike. You'll do a lot more damage, but you'll also take more in return, which is just as horrifying as it sounds.
In Escalation of Freedom, we have new objectives come in, like the Retrieve Larva mission, where you find this backpack with little crying larvae that you need to reach the extraction with. But you also have to be careful because it's gonna be crying a lot, and you're getting swarmed by more and more Terminids.
With the Second Galactic War in full swing, Super Earth is currently battling the automatons and the bugs for control of the Milky Way. The Automaton Legion, they are constantly building bigger and worse war machines. The Terminids' migration patterns seem to be changing. There's also been some irregular readings of the Terminid spores in the various sectors where the Terminids are spreading. And we will see where the story develops from here. So, have we told you everything that's going to be in the Escalation of Freedom? Of course we haven't.
We have many more surprises in store for you.
A surprise here and there that you maybe didn't expect.
On August 6th, I'm ready to dive, and I hope you are too.
Okay, I am fairly convinced that, you know what, if you ever won a game that sat there and said, okay, we're not going to go easy on you, we're just going to amp up every time you play, this is it. And I know, Joe, you played Helldivers. I know Tafari has played Helldivers. I need to get on the bandwagon and join you guys too. But does this make you excited for the next DLC? Does it make you want to play it? Or are you just thinking that, you might pass on this one?
I'm going to wait and see what else we got going on. I'm still playing Monster Hunter and enjoying it a little bit more than I am Helldivers, but that's because I'm not the biggest running gunner type of person. But like the ultra satirical take on the game is magnificent, and I do look forward to see what the levels look like.
Yeah.
Pardon. I'll definitely give it a shot, especially now that I'm at least leveled up to get a mech. So we'll see what that does.
Yeah, but that actually comes out August 6th. I will definitely be playing. Like I said, my backlog is getting smaller, but every time I see something new, I want to play it, especially that. But moving right along, guys, before we get to our last game trailer, Gundam Requiem for Vengeance also had a new trailer come out on Netflix. And again, this is a live action Gundam, but it has a lot of promise. If you haven't seen the trailer, what's that look for, Joe?
Couldn't remember this was a live action one or the new CGI one.
I'm sorry. New CGI. My bad. Requiem for Vengeance. Let me correct myself. That's CGI. But anyway, here's the trailer.
Principality of Zeon. We came to take Earth away from them. They're gonna do whatever they can to stop us.
Perhaps none more so than...
Our mission was to defend the base, Neeland, not get revenge. What the hell is that? Delta, get out of there! It's got armor we can't scratch. It's got beam weapons that cut right through our Zaku.
The Gundam. I've been hearing stories about it. I can't believe it.
Federation's new mobile suit. This could turn the tide of the war.
When you face the Gundam, you're gonna wish you had a Zaku in front of you. I can promise you that.
The feds you save will just come back and kill my people, Doc.
I'll save anyone on the battlefield. That includes you.
It's all gone.
We will. It's our home.
Because humanity moved to space, we've acquired abilities we've never needed before. We're evolving into a species that can understand the true intent behind actions. New type ability isn't magic. We all have our duties. You know that, Alfie. I will stop the Gundam!
All right, so that was Gundam Requiem for Vengeance. As you see, will be on Netflix October 17th. I like the fact that they're trying to take a different turn with it. Like, for a lot of the Gundam stories and movies and animes, it is usually told, well, maybe one. I'm trying to think. Maybe there was one that was told from the opposite side just because it was an experiment. But I'm not 100% sure on that. But this one is kind of being told from the Xenon side, where it's literally vilifying the Gundams, and I'm just like, okay, I'm willing to give it a shot. It definitely does look interesting. I love the fact that the active CGI does look great, and at the same time, hopefully the story is definitely intriguing. But Joe, what do you think about it? You're muted, Joe.
This is going to be probably fantastic, especially for us people who enjoy the multiple takes in Gundam, because war is never just one side or flat black and white. There are definitely soldiers that abused late stage war technology in the Gundam franchise, just like Gundam Thunderbolt and stuff they were doing in that one on both sides, or Double 80 War in a Pocket, where we've had probably the best Zaku pilot ever in the world die. And I'm not thinking about Shore. Bernie deserved better. So, like, you know, I mean, Bernie is the best Gundam Zaku pilot of all times. He took out a Gundam with a user-friendly training Zaku.
That is fair. So yeah,
no, this is going to be fantastic. I'm really looking forward to it. I wonder if we're going to get like winks and nod to other Zeon battalions, like the Midnight Fenrir from Zeonic Front, or the Gundam Battle Operations single player game that came out, Code Fairy. I wonder if their battalion is going to get brought up or anything like that. Anything that like does more of the original 1 year, because this is taking place in December. Like,
yeah,
they only got 30 days before the war's over.
That is true. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with it come October 17th. But the last show that we do got, guys, before we get to our comic book pulls, again, if you haven't seen Bleach, of course, 1,000-Year Blood War, that anime is great. Part 3 is coming up very soon. But also coming from Bleach, we are actually getting a video game, Bleach Rebirth of Souls. If you haven't seen the trailer, here it is.
Do you want to fight? Do you want to win? Or do you want to live? Which is it?
Fighting for its own sake is meaningless. Survival in itself is meaningless. I want to win!
Wielding swords that personify their soul, Soul Reapers now jump into battle.
I won't lose. No way!
Not to anyone. Your powers fall far short of mine. Give it all I have!
Utilize each character's unique Zanken-Soki action to cut down your opponent's Reishi. Cutting down 1 gauge of Reishi decreases your opponent's Kompaku.
Are you ready?
After damaging your opponent, unleash your Kikamu and destroy several of your opponent's Kompaku. Destroy all 9 of your opponent's Kompaku and win the game.
Too easy. What? Did you really think you could defeat me?
Using the spiritual power accumulated while attacking, unleash a special spiritual pressure move. You can also activate reverse action while attacking and defending. Turn the tide of battle with well-timed combos.
So this is all you can do. Scatter Senbon Sakura. Shall I explain to you the full extent of the difference between you and me? Bankai Senbon Sakura Kageyoshi.
In the midst of battle, accumulated power brings you to an awakened state. Unleashing your true power will overwhelm your opponent.
Senken Senbon Sakura Kageyoshi. You've reached your limit. Ichigo Kurosaki.
I'm not done yet! Bankai!
Tensa Zangetsu. This is my Bankai. Alright, let's just start over. All I can do is to take all of my spiritual pressure and try to channel it into one big strike. After everything we've been through thus far, neither of us has very much strength left. Yeah. Let the next clash decide this battle. Are you ready? Byakuya Kochiki!
Bleach, Rebirth of Souls.
What? Who are you?
Okay, so that was Bleach Rebirth of Souls. Currently, right now, we don't have a release date on it, but as you can see, will be available for PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and Steam. The only thing that I really take away from that is the fight system. Granted, it was a lot being thrown at you in less than 3 minutes, but it seemed more intricate. I was thinking more along the lines, it was kind of giving me Naruto, Naruto Storm or Chronicles, things of that nature, just because it was more of an intricate fight system. But looks like this may just take some getting used to. But like I said, that's the first trailer that I saw of it. Joe, what did you think?
Honestly, I think this trailer may be a bit more detrimental to the game because, like, you do not need to use that many in-universe terms, and to get this like hyped for people that are new to Bleach, no one knows what the hell a Kompaku is or a Retsu or anything. You should have just used standard video game terminology and made it a little bit more easier to understand. I feel like I get it because I'm a Bleach fan, but that's because I'm a Bleach fan.
Yeah.
If you're trying to bring in a new audience, this is not the way to go. You should have just, again, and I'm repeating myself, but like for emphasis, you should have used standard video game terminology. I feel like this is more a successor of the old PlayStation Bleach Heat the Soul games, where it's more Soul Calibur like than the Arena Fighter. I don't get the feeling that this is going to be a full Arena Fighter. I think this is going to be like a 2D plane back and forth, but you can dodge in and out of the background like in Soul Calibur rather than like full on like Naruto running and Dragon Ball Z flying stuff. But I said the trailer that was not a good trailer. They could have gone a little bit less hardcore with in-universe terminology.
Well, it's just like I said,
don't get
me wrong. You got a point about how it was explained. It just that it didn't really feel engaging. And like I said, it didn't really feel engaging as far as how they're trying to explain the fight system and how the battles are done. But like I said, it's the first one. Now, hopefully the next trailer, maybe they'll learn from it. Still want to give it a shot, but like you said, that if that's your first thing bad, I mean, yeah. But I'm just saying, like, maybe the next trailer should be a little bit more, well, let's just be honest, perfected. Improved upon would be nice. I mean, we're not trying to. No, go ahead.
This does at least tell us this goes from episode 1 all the way through the Rescue Rukia arc. So that means we will have a decent roster because we have a whole bunch of people that are like legitimately in this stuff. So, but how far out beyond Rescue Rukia, I don't know. Because like, I don't know if we're gonna get the Arrancar. We at least get Masked Ichigo is definitely teased, but I don't know if we're gonna go all the way like Grimjaw, Jaggerjack, and like the full demon version Ichigo, full hollow Ichigo, and stuff like that. So I don't know if we're gonna get the Hectomundo arc or what the storyline's gonna be. I would hope they at least go all the way through till Final Zangetsu.
It should be interesting. You know, like I said, if they're going through the arc, if they are going the arc route, then yeah, they should include those in there. But we will see. Like I said, fight the whole explanation, and when you're doing a trailer, you do want to hype it up a little bit better. So we're gonna hope the next one. We kind of hope the next one for the release will be exactly that. But that's really it for the news and trailers. I know, guys. San Diego Comic-Con did happen, still ongoing. So news is slowly trickling out of there. Like 5 different things have come out in like the last 2 hours. We will basically cover all of that. It's the fact that we did have a lot of Evo news first. So we do apologize. We didn't really go a lot over San Diego Comic-Con this time, but next week we will definitely cover just that. But before we get to our comic book, before we get to our comic book pools, if I can find words, that'd be great. We always do want to shout out Rick's Comic City, Nashville's #1 go-to place for comic books, for movie, for mangas, for animes, comic collections. You want it, you name it, it's probably there. They have 2 locations in Nashville and Clarksville, Tennessee, and of course, rickscomiccity.com. So if you are in the Middle Tennessee area, please support them because without them, you will miss them when they're gone. If you are not in the Middle Tennessee area, please support your local comic book stores, support your local libraries. Reason being, guys, these are the last places to where you'll be able to get an experience. Sure, you can get comic books from Barnes & Noble, Amazon, or even read them online, but going into a comic book store is a one-of-a-kind experience that just simply cannot be repeated anywhere else. And also in libraries, guys, please read the banned books. That banned book list is getting closer. Some libraries actually have it out on the shelves. So I'm speaking to you kids from us here at Gidbit Podcast. Please read the banned books. There's something there that you should learn that's going to expand your mind that some people may have different ideas about. We're encouraging reading because reading is fundamental. Much like games, they can definitely improve a lot of your life's aspects. So support your local comic stores, support your local libraries. If you're in the Middle Tennessee area, please support Rick's Comic City. That being said, Joe, I do see that you're up, sir. So whenever you're ready.
Yeah, we have a significantly reduced list just because of time. But we are going to be looking at least 5 books. So Absolute Origins, Absolute Power Origins. This is Amanda Waller, year 1. We just basically learned Amanda Waller's origin story. This is written by John Ridley with art by Althea Martinez, ink by Norm Rapman, and colors by Andrew Dollhouse. We basically learned that Amanda Waller had a very Batman-esque style origin where she lost her daughter to gang violence. Her husband tried to take the law into his own hands and as a result lost his own life while taking out the gang boss. But because he perpetrated basically murder, the police are not going to help Amanda Waller in any way, shape, or form. And as he died with a felony under his thing, they cannot collect on his life insurance. So Amanda Waller slowly moves into politics and just being the Amanda Waller we know, she's sacrificing family, her own children, just are like slowly distancing themselves from her. Just also she can gain power to ensure like whatever happens to her family doesn't happen to anybody else. Is that she's doing the Batman stuff, but she's going about it the wrong way.
I mean, when I read this, I was like, okay, so we're basically making Waller Batman with Lex Luthor vibes. Like, it's literally not get me wrong. When I first read this, I was like, do we really need the origin story of how Amanda Waller came to be? But it does shed some light on this, and I get what they're trying to go with absolute power. But the whole idea of this is like, okay, you're basically trying to compare her to Batman, but she basically went the route if Batman basically pulled the trigger. But I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a nice little read. I'm not gonna lie, I think it was a little bit on the unnecessary side, but I get why they did.
Next up, we got Absolute Power Task Force 7, number 2. This is written by John Lyman and art by Max Rainer. Cover by Luis Guerrero. And basically, we're looking at the fall of Atlantis. I forget what this one's called, but the Aquaman of the Amazos come and take away all of Aquaman's powers, all of major Atlantean powers, as well as the powers of Doom Patrol.
Yeah.
Which is both a blessing and a curse for some of them. Like, Negative Man's more than fine with it. Rita and Rita, like, kind of okay with it. I don't know how you take Robot Man's powers away. That one's kind of confusing.
That was so funny because Robot Man was like, I still have my powers. You don't have any powers. You're a robot. That's the part that was so funny about it. And you see, and of course, not Aqualad, but Death Charge. That was the name I was going for the Amazobot there. That was interesting. That again.
Like, it's right there on the cover, but like it doesn't like calculate that that's what this dude's called.
Yeah.
He just kind of goes on a rampage. Apparently, like he is like frenzied himself with like with Shark's frenzy because of the new Beast Girl that's on Doom Patrol. And just like massacres all of Atlantis, and Manowar was like, "Oh, we got them on our team." It's like, no, we don't. They are no longer capable of fighting for anybody at all. And Mars like, take the win.
That was
they're
crazy.
not able to fight with anybody, but damn it,
The whole thing. She's like, we've secured Atlantis. Did you pacify it? No, we secured Atlantis. That wasn't my orders.
No, it's the other way around.
It's like,
no, I pacified them.
It's like, that was so funny where Waller was like, that's not what I asked you to. You know what? Never mind. It's like, it's not what I asked you to do. Never. Just good job. That was literally what the feeling I got from that was like, you went above and beyond my orders, and now I have to not to worry about if you are basically going to go against me one day. So it was an interesting thing to see Aquaman kind of humanized at the same time with the Doom Patrol. But I'll give it to you. I'll give it to this one. This was actually a good read.
Yeah, no, it was fine. Once again, another Amazo is once again moving beyond the parameters that Waller asked for. So we know how she's going to be defeated. Slowly but surely, we know how she's going to be defeated. But it was a decent read. Jumping over to Marvel, we got Annihilation 2099, Silver Surfer 2099 versus Mephisto. Written by Steve Orlando with art by Herrero and Ditto. Colors by John Ramos. I'm going to be honest, this is a very, very classic and cut and dry Silver Surfer story of Surfer going against Mephisto, except this time Surfer is the herald of Mephisto and the cruel twist of fate. It's a different person altogether, and his whole thing is he goes to those that die, offers them the deal for Mephisto, and if they take it, he's off the hook, and he makes sure they want the deal, but finds a way to skirt around it, and battle ensues. Like I said, this is a very straightforward, very very classic Silver Surfer story.
Yeah, I mean, I did like the fact that he kind of had a conscience at the end, but yeah, it was a very, like you said, very classic Silver Surfer story. Really different because I've never really seen Mephisto have a herald before, but yeah, it's a good story. I just wasn't really expecting that ending when it comes to Mephisto because he's usually a little bit more petty than that, but still a good read.
I mean, next week we're going to get to ask Steve Orlando point blank. All right, tell us what's going on with this.
Yeah.
So there's that.
That is true.
Good book.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, we got Moon Knight, Vengeance of the Moon Knight #7, which is a Blood Hunt tie-in. This is written by Jed MacKay with art by Alejandro Cappuccio and colors by Rachel Rosenberg. We pretty much get the full breakout of Khonshu and Tegra and Mark getting reunited, and the Wreckers getting recruited by Khonshu into their forces, and held in a prison in Asgard, and everybody's like, so what's next? And Khonshu's like, well, we're gonna raise all the Moon Knights and make a giant army, and you're all gonna be the generals for this army. Then
right.
We're gonna fight the vampires because that's what Moon Knights do. We fight vampires.
Although it was interesting that he's like, no questions. You're all been drafted, but you've all been drafted. It's like, dang. Khonshu immediately just went straight to the draft. But no, it was good. I kind of figured that's what's going to have to wind up happening with as Blood Hunt is wrapping up, that Khonshu being free, and that because Khonshu is free, now you're going to have a whole army of Mark Spectors, and I'm going to be honest, that's a little bit frightening.
Well, it's a whole army of previous Moon Knights. So it's like a whole pseudo zombie army, and Mark's the only one fully resurrected, and Hunter Moon is like, oh, thank God, we can be resurrected again. I'm not cut out for this, not staying dead stuff.
Yeah, but it was going to be interesting because I was wondering how they would bring back Mark, and I was like, well, we're just going to go straight to Resurrection. I mean, that makes sense, but still a good read. And Obi has opinions. Obi has plenty of opinions.
And then moving up, we're looking at one of the newer X books, NYX. This is a re-emerging title, as the original NYX is how we learned about Laura growing up, but now this is the new Ms. Marvel book. NYX is going to be about Anole, Prodigy, Laura, Ms. Marvel, and Sophie Cuckoo of the Cuckoo Sisters, meaning the Young Emma Squad. And this is just what the young new mutants are going to be going forward in New York now that the mutants are hated and persecuted once again, but have no island refugee. So it's basically just Ms. Marvel going to college in New York, and Sophie becomes best friends with her. She runs into Laura. One of her professors is Prodigy, who, of course, is using his powers to move ahead in life, but not in a bad way. Anole just becomes a flat-out bartender, which is also cool. Gotta have a day job. It's weird that the bar he works at has a no mutant policy, but he's very clearly a mutant. I don't know how that one works. But I guess his bartending skills exceeded the no mutant rule. We also get to see the new version of the Quiet Council, which is, it's fine. There's this one character I do not like and have never liked, but I don't think anybody actually likes him. Even the rest of the Sephir Cuckoos and The one wearing the Professor Xavier helmet doesn't really like him, but like it's a necessary evil. But like they picked a great villain to be on the new Quiet Council. Good read. I enjoy it. I definitely will be getting this going forward. Mostly because huge Ms. Marvel fan, huge X-23 fan, and Sephiroth Cuckoos are always fun when they try to strike out on their own. Sophie's no exception.
This is probably gonna be one of the ones that this is gonna be. It sounds like it's gonna be a great title. I read it. Just not my cup of tea, but this is not to down it. Like I said, for a lot of comics, you know, guys like me are not gonna be the target demographic. But I did love the art. I did love the pace of it. It's just that this is probably gonna be a pass for me, just because from an X-Men standpoint, I like what they're doing with the X-Men team, but you know, to put Miss Marvel on this, it just may not work for me. But it's only
This
my
is like a
opinion.
new version of like New Mutants.
Yeah, which I got that too. But I just want to say, you know, again, just my opinion. Would still want you guys to go out there and still read it, give us your opinion on it, and yeah, go from there. But yeah, for me, this is probably just gonna be probably a pass on this one.
That's it for tonight. Like I said, we have a smaller one just because of time frame, so we're only looking at 5 books tonight. But nope, that's it for now.
Okay. Which we do apologize. You know, life was lifing, so we did really get an extremely late start. Again, our apologies. But we do thank you all who liked, who watched, who commented, who let people know this is live. We certainly appreciate that. Some shameless plugging before we do get out of here. So, Joe, you want to let people know where they can find you and what you're doing, sir?
In bed asleep.
Well, aside from current plans,
monster hunting. Occasionally I will stream it. Right now I'm just trying to farm like Master Rank 5 monsters, so I can stock up on stuff to upgrade weapons. That's really it. Or I'm hunting with my buddy Jared and trying to get him caught up with me. We're all learning new weapons. Or in my case, I just keep falling back on to Gunlance because good attack, good defense.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
these Master Rank 5 monsters, I need a big shield.
Understandable. But you can definitely catch Joe on his channel at Show Guy Joe, especially with him and Tafari reviewing Ultraman, which again, if you haven't seen their reviews of it, you highly should. We actually showed a clip of it last week. Tafari is currently at DreamCon in Dallas, so there's a reason why he's not with us. But next week he'll be back with us with the news from DreamCon, as well as us going over San Diego Comic-Con. As for me, guys, before I do get on myself, I do always want to shout out BlurStation.com. I keep telling people, guys, we've always wanted our own Hulu, our own Netflix, or Amazon Prime. Blur Station is definitely it. If you definitely go to BlurStation.com, it definitely has movies, it has television shows, it has anime, it has manga. It is going to have everything that you usually see on streaming services and then some. If you are interested, guys, please go hit the Join Now button. Under Join Now, select the Blur's Eye View of Vending membership, and then select myself, Black Spartan, or Tafari at Tafari TV. Either one, we would certainly appreciate that. It is $10.99 a month to view Blur Station. After paying $10.99 a month for 36 months, you do get the option to own a piece of Blur Station. Yes, own a piece of a media conglomerate. You can't beat a stick with that. Also, if you are a content creator, please definitely, and if you do want your stuff to be shown on BlurStation.com, you do need to join and be a member first. Once you are a member, you'll be able to speak to the people behind the curtains at Blur Station, and if all works well, your content will be available on BlurStation.com, and you will be able to keep ownership. The only thing they ask is that just a piece of distribution, and you can't beat that with a stick. But again, guys, support. This is the things that we keep saying, that as long as these things are here, the only way they're going to survive is if we support. So definitely check out BlurStation.com. Also, guys, if you are lucky enough to be at San Diego Comic-Con, good for you. If you are in the Dallas area, please check out DreamCon. It is going on right now for Saturday and Sunday. Again, if you are lucky to go to San Diego Comic-Con, hopefully you were enjoying yourself. But if you're not, Or if you're in Dallas, definitely check out DreamCon. DreamCon, of course, you go to DreamCon.com to purchase your badges and tickets there and be able to have the con experience. Again, definitely enjoy it. As for myself, guys, Black_Spartan615 is where you can find me on the interwebs. Again, I am a friendly person. The only rule I have is don't make it weird. Don't make it weird. I don't want to block you. I don't want to go through all that. I'm a pretty much a love the conversation type of guy. But again, keep it clean. Keep it normal. Don't be weird. That's all I ask. At the same time, guys, the podcast can be heard wherever podcasts can be seen or heard, whether it's Google Play, Spotify. We are working on Apple. Also, check out Always Record Television, APR TV. Not only available online, but on Roku devices, where you'll be able to find our shows. We'll be able to find Get Bit Podcast and How the Crack We Got Here, my other podcast there as well. So definitely like and share, and then check out Always Record TV from there. At the same time, guys, you can find me on Blurred's Eye View every Tuesday and Thursday, along with Safari TV and others who are now split between cons right now. But definitely check us out there as we return back this Tuesday with a new guest. And again, always a fun time. But that being said, guys, like I said, cons are happening. So 3 quick rules before we call tonight that you need to follow. Number 1, respect the cosplayer at all times. Cosplaying is for everybody, regardless of your height, weight, preference, or color. Anybody can cosplay. The only rule that I have is don't do blackface. Don't want your ass kicked at a con? Don't do blackface. Number 2, hygiene is important. You're going to be in an area to where it's going to have a lot of people and very little room. You're going to be right next up to each other. So please, guys, clean yourselves. Washcloth preferably. Please use soap. Please use deodorant. Please wear clean clothes. Hygiene is important for many obvious reasons, especially in being in close proximity of someone else. Number 3 is the same rule that I have for myself as I have for everybody else at the con. Because this world is cruel and cold, be nice, be kind, talk about your fandoms. You'll get a lot further when you're not being a dick. But with that being said, guys, we definitely will be back next Friday, Saying Get Bit Time, Saying Get Bit channel, covering the news, which was a lot and still pouring out of San Diego Comic-Con, as well as covering the voice actor strike that's going on with the video game industry. But like I said, guys, please be safe. COVID cases are back up. So if they ask you to put on a mask, don't make it weird. Just put on a mask. At the same time, guys, another rule I have about the cons is be nice, be kind. If a person doesn't want to take a picture with you, it is completely fine. It is their choice. But you don't have to. But anybody that's actually in cosplay is not there for your benefit. You get a lot farther with honey than you would with vinegar. That is all I'm saying. But beyond that, guys, again, we do know it's late. We do thank you that has stuck with us this long. We promise we will be a little bit more on time in the future. But aside from that, Joe, any last words we call tonight, sir? You're muted, Joe.
Say, no, I'm good for the night.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, last thing you said about Give It Podcast, all about fandoms. We love them, we share them, we debate them. The last thing we want to be is toxic gatekeepers or simply down somebody whose tastes are different than ours. Again, fandoms are for welcoming people who have never seen something or experienced something that they actually might wind up being fans on. So again, when you are discussing fandoms, guys, please do it with an open heart. If someone is different from you, listen to them. At the same time, you can debate. There is no right or wrong answer. But at the same time, guys, don't be a dick. That being said, he's been Joe. I've been Will. This has been the Give It Podcast tonight, guys. Thank you for sticking with us. Take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll get through this. Peace.
Later.